Hey y'all, am I sitting on your tail, child? I'm sorry. Did nobody tell you to get that close to me? Come here. Come on. Get down. Go get on your pillow. Go. Go get on your pillow. Lord, this dog is raining and he trying to, well, it's not raining right now, but it's getting ready to rain and it's cold and he want to be all up under me because I know I'm warm. I got this sweater on in the house because it's chilly. But I don't want to turn my heater back on. Oh, Lord. Yesterday was nice. Today is. I don't know what to say about this weather. I know one thing. I'm sick of it. Sick of it. We had a nice weekend. It was Babe's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, baby. I know he watched these videos sometimes. Like I didn't already tell him happy birthday, but yeah, it was his birthday. And we went to the book sale um, at the library where they sell books like twice a year. The first day of the sale, the books are like 50 cents a quarter. And then the second day is bring a bag, any size bag, fill the bag up with books, and it's $1. So we both went the first day when the books were like 50 cents, 25 cents for kids. And then Babe went back by himself yesterday and just filled some bags up and brought home some books for the kids and myself. But I'm here today to talk about one thing specifically, and this is collecting dirt from the cemeteries or graveyard dirt for your spell work. Now, I know this is a huge thing. For some reason, people on the internet selling graveyard dirt, everybody want to work with graveyard dirt. Everybody want to put graveyard dirt in their workings and all of this kind of stuff. But my question is, one, why? Two, where's the dirt coming from that you are ordering offline? Who collected the dirt? What cemetery did it come from? I would have so many questions before I ordered some graveyard dirt from online. Because one thing, I can go out in my garden and dig up some dirt and sell it to you and tell you it's graveyard dirt, but it's actually dirt that Gizmo then pooped and pee-peed and cats then came by and defecated and did all kind of stuff. How you gonna know the difference? How will you know what type of dirt it is? Because there's some people out here that are just out here to make money. That's the only thing they out here for. That's one of the reasons why I do these videos, to educate people. Yeah, there are workings that I do that I will charge you for because you have to pay for my materials. Plus, I have to make an offering to the Orishas if I'm going to help you. So yeah, there's some things that you gotta pay for, but things like graveyard dirt, nah, I'm not gonna trust nobody to get that for me. Now, have I worked with graveyard dirt? Yes, I have. But I went to the cemetery myself, got my own dirt. I have my own utensils that I use specifically for the cemetery. They are not to be used for anything else. But when I go to the cemetery, I don't even bring those things back in my house after I use them. They are kept in a certain place. I've collected graveyard dirt, but I have had a reading I know that the Orishas, the Lawal, they have accepted me. Technically, I'm supposed to be a priest. I have just not went through the last stage of my initiation to wear my crown. I just choose not to do that right now. But the Orishas have already called. I have a crown waiting for me. I just haven't chosen to do that yet. So I've had a reading. I know how to present myself when I go to the cemetery. I know what offerings to leave. I know who to talk to. And let me tell you this, even for people, I'm an empath on top of all of the rest of this stuff that I am. I am an empath. I have extremely deep connections to the ancestors, to the Egun, to people that have transitioned. And I'm going to tell you this story. I went the first year after my mom had passed, I went to the cemetery. No, I take that. No. The first time I went to the cemetery was when they laid her headstone because I wanted to, make sure that everything was the way she wanted it. She had already picked it out and all of this kind of stuff. Because that was the only thing that she didn't take care of before she passed was her headstone. So I went back to make sure that they had did that right, and of course they did. I didn't go back to the cemetery again until Mother's Day. I'm in complete white from head to toe so that the Orishas and the Egun would know who I was. Um, but I guess because it was so many people there visiting their mothers, and the grief and the sadness was so heavy. I mean, the sadness was so heavy in the cemetery that day that it was extremely difficult for me to even stay there. Like, as soon as I entered the cemetery, I was having all of these images of people crying, people upset, just all of this heaviness. I had images of mothers being upset because their relatives are not visiting them. All of this stuff was just coming at me, and I didn't even have enough guard up to, to block all of that stuff that was coming because I had never been to the cemetery on Mother's Day or Father's Day or any of the holidays. I've always shied away from the cemetery during those times, and I didn't know why. Now I know why, because that happened. So I did what I had to do. I brought my mom her flowers, and then we saw my husband's grandmother, who is actually right across the way from my mom and dad. Like, my mom and dad is right here, and his grandmother is just right directly across the street, basically. And I was like, wow, that's deep. Um, but it was crazy. It was overwhelming for me. And after I left the cemetery, I was sick. I was nauseous. I was sick. I broke out in a cold sweat. My husband had to stop at the gas station and get me a 7 Up or something to try to calm my my stomach down. And I had brought some other clothes because I didn't want to be in all white because we were going someplace else. I brought some more clothes. Thank God I did. I was able to come out of those clothes, put them away, changed my outfit, and I felt better. So all y'all out here talking about going to the cemetery collecting, if you don't know what you're doing at the cemetery, stay away from the cemeteries because it is not for everybody. The It's not for everybody. And everybody don't even need to be doing that type of work. If you don't know what you're doing, leave the cemetery, leave dead people alone. Because for some reason, it's extremely popular right now. That just seems to be the big, oh, I'm going to the cemetery, get me some graveyard dirt so I can do this and do that. And you don't know what for one, you don't know what you're bringing home with you. You don't know what doors you're opening up. You're probably not leaving the correct offerings. And that time, I did everything right. I know I did. But I still felt all that energy. And it wasn't that I had did something wrong. It was just the energy that was swirling around in the cemetery on that day. The cemetery be busy. And that ain't no place to play around and be out there. You know, I see people at the cemetery having picnics, and I can't do that. I am too sensitive to sit around the cemetery and have picnics and this and that. But my mother was the type of person, before she passed away, she said, don't come out here. Don't, when I'm gone, don't come to the cemetery. I think my mother knew that I was sensitive. She had drilled that in me since I was little. We didn't even really go visit my dad. Because when my dad passed away, I was 5 years old, and I saw him in a dream. And I'll talk about that in the story time later on, one other day, whenever. And I told my mother, and I think my mom knew that I was, different. And she had told me before, she kept telling me, when I pass away, don't come to the cemetery. She said, because for one thing, I'm not here. Once you lay me to rest, that's it. It don't make no sense for you to be running out here to the cemetery to see me. Because my mother she was not the type of person that liked flowers anyway. She was like, don't be spending no money on them. Don't bring no flowers out here. I don't want that mess. Because I ain't here anyway. She said, once I close my eyes, I'm going to be with my maker. And I believe that. So I'm not a cemetery visiting person. It's just not my thing. Because my mother felt she wasn't there, and it just does not make any sense for you to come out here and see me, and I ain't here. I said, that's right, girl. You going to be with Jesus. And if she believed that, I believe it for her. And I honor her wishes. I did go on Mother's Day. I was missing her, and my husband was missing his grandmother, and he wanted to go out there, but I haven't been back. And I think that was probably 2-3 years ago. I haven't been back. Because I have my ancestor table set up. I have my altar set up. If I want to talk to my mother, I can talk to my mother right here in my house. I don't have to go out to Rolling Hills to talk to my mother. And if you're doing right by your ancestors, you don't either. So let me go, because I'm at 14 minutes. Y'all know I get to rambling. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section. You can always message me on Instagram, same name as I have here. You can message me on Twitter. I don't know if I'm going to find it. My phone might beep. If I see it, I'll get with you. But it's best to either message me On Facebook, if me and you are Facebook friends, or on Instagram. Instagram is better because I'm really not really accepting everybody on my Facebook right now because my Facebook is really family. And I don't put a lot of spiritual stuff on there. But my Instagram, I do. I do whatever I want to do on my Instagram because ain't nobody that, I don't want all of my business follow me on Instagram. So if you have questions, leave them here. If you don't want to leave them here, Instagram is the best place to follow me. So y'all leave that graveyard dirt alone. And I'm about to go fix me some lunch, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.